I knew Ann Wigmore, and I asked her why she picked wheat. Bruising of the skin. You asked me what causes bruising of the skin, Mike. That's a loss of calcium, and your capillaries are breaking real easy there. So that's a parathyroid weakness. So you want to address that parathyroid weakness and move your lymph better. All your raw fruits are so full of flavonoids that they help repair that vascular wall, but calcium utilization is essential to get rid of that bruising. And you want to get rid of that bruising. You do not want to walk with bruising, spider veins, varicose veins. You don't want to walk with these things because I've seen a lot of aneurysms, and you just want to strengthen that connective tissue in the body because that's what it's representing. And so you'll be fine there. And again, detoxification is strange that way. I've seen people during detoxification start bruising, and then it turned totally around. So there's all levels of healing crisis out there, no question about that. Yeah, you're the one with the blood transfusion. Yeah, I mean, anything like that. This is what I suggest, though. When you wake up in the morning, the body's the most lymphatically compromised. The kidneys need to filter better. Your lymph needs to move better. Your bowels need to move. Hit the fruit. Make that morning drink a fruit drink, a powerful fruit drink, and mid-morning do the blood transfusion. I think you'll find it'll be a lot better. Clean the blood first and then power up the blood if you want to look at it that way. However, there's no more nutrition in fruits and berries. I mean, they are the top. Again, notice how much greens you have to eat as opposed to how much fruit and berries. You can get real full on fruits and berries real quick, and greens you can suck them down a lot longer. And you look at the difference of a herbivore and how much they have to eat, as opposed, of course, they're bigger animals, I'll concur. Some of them. So I hope I've answered everything there for you. Rice, yeah, whole grain, brown rice, short grain, the best. I guess if you do that once in a while, who cares? If you're detoxifying, nope. That's a real step back. These kind of foods, heavier proteins, more concentrated foods, is putting the brakes on detoxification. Even vegetables slows you up. You want to put the pedal to the metal. You've got tumors, or you've got cancer, or you've got anything that's real difficult, like neurological problems, cystic fibrosis. We just got a 6-month-old baby with cystic fibrosis. I mean, these are serious cases. And so you got to get up there. You got to get way up there in diet, I'm telling you, because in these higher levels, like the guy that regenerated his cut in 4 days, I did it in 4 days. So you can regenerate it in 1, but still, 4 days, who's complaining? This is what you need in hospitals. This is what you need everywhere going under surgery so you don't get adhesions and scar tissue. This is what you need. And this is, and in that level of injury and trauma, you see how well you heal, and you can imagine then in regeneration of tissue. And this is what you guys are learning there. You guys are really going to be the core of the healing people of the world, I'm going to tell you, because not a lot of people are into these things. There's too many people with too many little things. They're not focused. It's a lot of ridiculous stuff out there. But bring me a portobello mushroom sandwich on a toasted bun sometime. What's the toasted bun made of? Okay, now, I don't know who this is. Brianna? Okay, sweet. Blind spots in her eyes. It seems like the ophthalmologists haven't given her a diagnosis yet with that. She's on the lymphatic, kidney, and eye bright. Is that eye bright or eye wash? I have an eye wash formula that is topically. You can get a little eye cup here. They're only a couple bucks, I think, but wash your eyes out with that. That'll really promote blood and lymph flow topically, and that'll be helpful. Internally, you could take it. There's another formula out there. It's from one of our labs. It's called Visioplex. That's got raw eye tissue in it, and it's got eye bright, of course, and it's got your bilberries, and it's got all your eye stuff. It does have some other vitamins and stuff in it, but you know what? Your vision is everything, so you could hit a formula like that. At the same time, you know exactly what you have to do. You got to move your lymph. It isn't the blood breaking you down, it's the lymph breaking you down, and you want to move that out. You can see pieces of retina or even pupil. I don't know what your ophthalmologist saw. But that's the way I would do that. I would really go after that. Use the eye wash and take it internally. I'd get that visioplex, and at the same time, just what you're doing, I'd hit my lymph, I'd hit my kidneys, and don't forget the adrenal glands. Real important. That's your steroids and stuff. So real important that you do that, sweetheart, and you'll be in good shape there. You'll work yourself back out of that. It just takes a while. You gotta need a good cold and flu-like symptoms. Draining the head, whatever you can do to drain the head. Pull the air candle, and start moving that lymph aggressively as much as you can. Get into some saunas, not infrared, but steam saunas or sweat lodges. This is a question. This is the question about marathon running and stuff. There's a tribe. I saw this on TV once. I can't remember what channel it was, but where a tribe, I think in New Guinea or somewhere, takes off running a 26-mile run. They don't load up with any carbs or anything like that. Their respirations, heart rate, blood pressures, all that are the same when they get back from the run as when they started the run. How interesting, huh? I don't consider calories as an issue as much as I do obstructions. It's kind of like the more obstructions the body has in it, the more energy is required to move blood, nerve, and lymph. But if everybody's moving good, you'll notice that you need less to eat and you have more energy. You have to understand that you're the main energetic source, if you will, of your body. You as soul. We've come up with thinking lots of calories, lots of carbs. We've come up thinking that way. I found that when I was a total fruitarian, I had endless amount of endurance. Don't quote me which university it was. This goes way back in the 70s. Yale, one of these universities, Stanford maybe, did a comparison between endurances and things. I think they had like 44 athletic modules from chin-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, deep knee bends. Don't quote me on this study, but it's been so long ago, but I sure wish I had that. And they took a fruitarian, I think they took a natural hygienist, they took an athlete in training, they took someone just off the street. They took a cross-section of diets and trainers and stuff. And I'm just going to give you an example of what I saw on this. Now, it's been so many years ago, but let's take deep knee bends for an example. Let's say the vegetarian did 40 knee bends, deep knee bends, and then the lacto-vegetarian did maybe 45. The natural hygienist, the raw foodist, did 80 or 90. The athlete did about 60. The raw foodist did about 90 to 100, and the fruitarian did like almost 150 to 200. It was that difference with the fruitarian always at the top of the module. And I thought that was quite interesting. Through the years I've had so many of these little bits and pieces that help put together where I think and where I am now. It's hard to go over those because it's been a lot of years through a lot of discovery and a lot of study, and it's been had that, Now, not so much. Now I don't care. When you have 40 years in a field, Jensen had 75 years. And he couldn't stop. And I always said, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to spend my life in an aggressive focus forward. Relax at a certain point. Pushed himself too much. Had no fun. And so then he went down in a bad way. So you got to have fun in your life when you get older, period. And so I'm trying to slack down a little like that. I don't want to end up like that. The other thing was oat flakes. Is that oat flakes? Softened in water, whole grain softened in water. These are still acidic, even though they're complex sugars. I think you're going to find you're going to have more energy at the fruitarian level than when you're trying to burn carbs. I really do. But you know what? I'm not a marathon runner either. So you'll just have to see how you do with that. I suppose if you had to have more carbon at that level, I would breathe it in the air with the oxygen. But if you had to have it in terms of systemic carbon like that, I don't know, outside that, I'd probably do more millet or something. I'd probably focus more on alkaline grains, at least keeping more of a hydrated medium, even in digestion maybe, and work in that route. Or quinoa, something like that maybe, but in my running things, absolutely. I have some marathon runners here, but they're not in some good shape. They have kidney and adrenals, so they ended up losing their knees and hips and blah, 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 blah. So yeah, whatever you have to do in that respect. Now, let's see. This is this individual is Rothenberg, 50 years old male, diabetic, has been off all these meds for more than a year. Good work, my friend. Here's where he had the high blood pressure, now low. Yeah, I mean, that's just the way it really is, And but you see, you went down to 100 over 60. 60 is perfect. That's textbook. The fact that your kidneys are maintained 60 means you're not really getting too much kidney breakdown. Although you were on dialysis here, you see what your creatinine is. If it's above, say, 0.7, now you're seeing some kidney issues there. But 60 is textbook blood pressure diastolically, not 80, not 75, 60 to 70. 100, that's your adrenals, low, of course, so you're seeing that already. 2 years ago he had kidney failure and was in a coma for 3 days. Ow! So they put him on dialysis, etc., etc. Now his kidneys. The kidneys are good tissue to rebuild because they're like stomach tissue. Stomach cancer, kidney cancer, easier cancers because those tissues are built to handle some degree of acidosis, where other tissue not so much. So yeah, and so your kidneys rebounded pretty good. Let's see. My question is, should I detoxify on fruit alone now, or should I add herbs? I always use herbs. I think there's no waiting on the herbs. They actually will get to your kidneys faster than better than just the fruit. I mean, because they have specific healing powers for those tissues. And that's the key about herbs. They don't treat diseases and crap thinking like that. They're tissue rebuilders, and that's what I love about that. So yeah, I would use herbs for that. And the last question of the day is Canadian War God. Oh, I love that. All right, my friend. Okay, so high-fat, raw, vegan diet. Well, you know what? Depends where you're at, and what your body can tolerate and things. I know you're having a hard time with the fruit. Okay. About high-fat, though, maybe, but you're talking about the right kind of fats, though. You're talking about coconuts, avocados, olives, maybe not so much macadamia nuts. I'd probably leave those off if you're trying to detoxify. Lots of leafy greens and stuff. Well, you're going to reach a plateau. Doing these things, you will detoxify to a point and you'll reach a plateau. When you reach that plateau, then let off all those things and get on fruit, and you should tolerate them at that point. And just see whatever fruit your body doesn't tolerate and just avoid those. If you're having sugars bouncing all over the place, you're going into your kidney and adrenals, and maybe even a neurological effect to the beta cells. But again, that's going back to the adrenal glands again. So work on those. Work on your kidneys. The low sugar fruits you do well with. Okay, then do that. That's good. There's nobody over anybody with a stick or a ball, bat, or anything like that. You have to work with what your sensitivities and all that is with. So I'm with all of you in that way. And that's where balance comes in. We've got to work with balance and whatever our bodies can deal with. And you know your body better than I do. I can just tell you that as we work through these and get through these lower zones of difficulties, we can get higher and higher and higher on the mountain. And then it's really all good. And so you got to work your body to where you have to take it.